everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be going through some boot fair bits that I picked up. Now I didn't get any footage at this boot fair purely because I actually originally went there to sell, and then before setting up me and Nicky actually went for a wander around just to see what was there. And yeah, I ended up getting a couple of bits from the boot fair, a couple of bits from Nicky, and actually a couple of bits from someone else who watches the channel as well. So yeah, I didn't have my GoPro with me or anything like that, so what we're going to do is we're just going to dive in and have a look through all the bits that I picked up. Now the first bit that we've got isn't actually something that is gaming related, but it is actually in line with something that I've added to the channel before, and yeah, it's from a film series that I absolutely love, and it is a Pennywise figure from It. Now this is one of the ones, it's basically designed as a display piece, so you've got the different heads, different hands, the balloon and everything. It is absolutely amazing. And yeah, I saw it on this stall. The seller was just setting up, and yeah, basically I just said to him sort of, what are you after for it? He said a $5, and I was like, I'm in an R for a bit, and then I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to grab it. So picked it up, and actually when I got home and looked at it, because it's brand new and sealed, it's never been opened, and yeah, getting back home, looking it up online, they go for about £45 on eBay. So yeah, really happy to have that. I've just now got to find somewhere to put it, because it's something that I would want to have on display. So we do currently have the new version Pennywise from sort of Funko Pop. But yeah, I absolutely love the It series. It plays into sort of one of the two things that absolutely scares living life out of me, and that's clowns. The other one being Barney the dinosaur. I hate that thing. But yeah, I grew up watching the original mini-series, and then when I saw that they were announcing the remakes, I was really excited. I will admit, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I actually remember watching it for the first time on a plane to, I think it was Hong Kong. And I'm really glad that I watched it then, because everyone was asleep. I mean, I was one of only probably about 5 or 6 people that were awake on the whole plane. And yeah, there was a couple of instances where I was jumping out my seat. So yeah, really absolutely loved the first one. The second one, I did go and see it in the cinema with a friend, and yeah, it wasn't anywhere near as good as the first one, or even the second part of the original mini-series. But yeah, really enjoyed that. Really happy to have that in the collection. And yeah, now we can get back to the gaming. And first off, I actually got a small bundle of games from a seller. So I've got a couple of PS4 and PS3 games. The first one that we've got is one that I've seen about quite a bit, but never actually picked it up. And that is Steep. So this is a sort of extreme sports game. Unfortunately, I haven't actually played it yet, because this is another one of those Ubisoft games which they make and then they make it, it's got to be connected online. So it's got the always online DRM, and yeah, I'll be honest, the sooner that Ubisoft either move away from this model or go out of business, the better. Because it's one of the things I absolutely hate in the gaming industry at the moment, is this always online DRM. Microsoft learnt that quite quick when they were releasing the Xbox One. Now we've just got to get these game studios to realise the same thing. So yeah, I will admit, when I bought it, didn't realise that it was always online. But yeah, paid £1 for that one. Goes for £4 at CEX, £6 on eBay. And yeah, it isn't one that I've got any intentions on playing at the moment. Then moving on, we've actually got, this technically is a double. So we've actually got the complete edition of this. But I saw this there and I was like, that actually makes it a better option to get that. And that is Dead Island Definitive Edition. So this basically comes with both the complete games, plus all of the DLC on the disc. And I think actually it even includes the mobile game that was released. Yeah, okay. Now, I love the original Dead Island game. It's one of my, even to this day, I've never forgotten about the sort of the announcement trailer for it, and it is such a powerful trailer. And yeah, so I was really looking forward to the game. I remember when the game was coming out, I was actually working up in London, and all across the tube you'd see adverts for this game. So yeah, I was really looking forward to playing it. And when it came out, I know a lot of people didn't like it. I actually really enjoyed it. I think I got it on the PC originally, played it through on the PC, and then when I got my 360, also managed to get hold of it then as well. But we did actually get hold of the definitive edition last year in one of the pickups that I'd done from one of the resellers, and when I got that, it didn't actually have the game. So what I did was I bought the game, I think it was sealed off eBay, put it into that box, and then it's just been, that whole set has then been put into storage. So yeah, when I saw this there, I decided to grab it, because then this will allow me to keep that box as is and still be able to play the game. And yeah, even capturing footage for this video, really enjoyed playing it. And yeah, definitely looking forward to, I actually need to go through the second game. I've never actually gone through and completed Riptide. Equally, I also need to get on to Dead Island 2 as well. I probably played a couple of hours on it, got stuck, and then I've sort of not gone back to it. So I need to get back to that as well. So for Dead Island, we paid £1 for that one. Goes for £8 on CEX and $10.50 on eBay. Then we move on to some of the PS3 games, and the first one that we've got is actually a PS3 game with a slipcover, and that is Borderlands 2. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Love the design of this slipcover. I'll be honest, I've played the Borderlands games very briefly, never really got into them. I know you've got Borderlands 4 coming out soon as well, so yeah, I do need to try and put out the time to actually get into these. So released in 2012 by Gearbox Software, this is a first-person shooter, and similar to its predecessors, Borderlands 2 is a first-person shooter with elements drawn from role-playing video games. The game received universal acclaim upon release. Critics generally praised the game's visuals, writing and gameplay. And yeah, as I say, I just need to sort of carve out the time to actually sit down and play this. So looking it up online, it goes for £1. Sorry, we paid £1 for it. I, for some reason, couldn't find the price at CEX. I think that's probably I couldn't find a price with the slipcover. And on eBay, with the slipcover, it goes for about £4.50. Then the final game that I picked up from this seller was Dead Rising 2 Steelbook Edition on the PS3. Now, for me, when I think of the Dead Rising games, I always think that it is an Xbox exclusive. Now, I don't know why. I mean, the first time I ever got exposed to it was when I was playing, I think it was Dead Rising 3 on the Xbox One. That was one of the games I actually got with my Xbox One. But yeah, it is a multi-platform game. I think the earlier ones are multi-platform, and then once we got to the Xbox One, it then became a platform exclusive. But yeah, I saw this there, and yeah, just decided to grab it. Unfortunately, obviously, it's missing the outer sleeve. It's also missing the DVD that's meant to be in here as well. But I don't think we've got Dead Rising 2 on the PS3, so still a nice new addition for the collection. So once again, paid £1 for that one. Goes for £15 at CEX and £6 on eBay. Then, as the day went on, so I basically, that was pretty much all that I picked up before the boot fair started. So what I did was I sort of set up my stall, was selling, and then part way through the morning, so probably after selling for a couple of hours, I looked over at a stall just the other side of the line that I was on, and they actually literally had a table that was full of games. So I got the wife to watch the stall for me while I went over and had a look, and yeah, managed to get a nice little stack of games for the collection. So the first one that we got was actually a double. but at the time I didn't realise, well no sorry, it's a double, and I picked it up thinking that it would be good trade fodder, which it's actually not. And that is Metro Prime Hunter, or Metro Prime Hunters First Hunt. Now this is a demo that would have come bundled in with a Nintendo DS. Now I thought with it being complete in box that it would actually be worth picking up, but unfortunately it wasn't. So yeah, I paid £2 for it. I go for about £8 on eBay, and I couldn't actually find a price for it on CEX. So yeah, a bit disappointed with that. I will probably more than likely take that to a boot fair and just sell it at a boot fair. Just basically try and recover what I paid for it. So next up we have got a new 3DS addition to the collection. And this is Big Hero 6 Battle for the Bay. Now when I saw this there, I have to admit I absolutely love the Big Hero 6 film. And I haven't actually seen the TV series yet, so I know that it's a different art style to the film, but definitely want to jump in and actually watch that when I can. But yeah, I really enjoyed the actual film when it came out, so I saw this there, decided to pick it up, one because it was Big Hero 6, and two because it was a 3DS game. So whenever I see 3DS games out in the wild, I'll always try and grab them, because you don't see them that often. And for that one we paid £3 for that. Goes for £2 at CEX and £6 on eBay. So yeah, not as cheap to pick it up there, but still an additional one that I haven't actually seen before. So yeah, glad to have that. Then moving on, we go back to the PS3, and next up we have got Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. And yeah, whenever I see these I'll always pick them up, because normally they're actually quite expensive games to get. So yeah, whenever I see them I will tend to sort of grab them. This one not so much, but even still it's not one that we have in the collection, so that was a good reason for picking it up. Released in 2013 by CyberConnect 2. This is a one-on-one fighter, and the story focuses on the conflict between ninjas from all villages and the terrorist organisation as a world war starts between the groups. The game has positive reviews and good sales, surpassing its predecessors from the series. Critics praised the return of boss battles from Storm 2 and the ultimate decision mechanics and improved graphics and control. Now I have to say everything seemed to take ages for this. So the game took about 15 minutes to install. Then there was a 10-minute cutscene, and yeah, it just took absolutely ages to get into the game. But I would admit, once we got into it, it was actually quite enjoyable. So yeah, really happy to have it in the collection. Paid £4 for this one. Goes for £2 at CEX, £10 on eBay. So I can't remember if it was in stock at CEX. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to update my sort of screen that I have up in front of me to actually include whether it's in stock currently at CEX, just so we've got a bit of an idea of sort of what the prices are like at CEX. Okay, so next up we are going to go back to the PS4. And for this next game, it is actually a PSVR game, and that is Battlezone. So released in 2016 by Rebellion Developments, this is a vehicular combat first-person shooter. The game is played entirely from a first-person perspective, from within your tank's cockpit. The game was originally designed for virtual reality with gamepad control, and the objective of the campaign is to travel across the procedurally generated hex map, ultimately to destroy the enemy AI core in the volcano at the far end of the map. And yeah, if I remember rightly, I believe this was one of the early PSVR games that was released when it was when the actual VR accessory was released. It looks amazing in VR. So it's a mixture of real world environments with like Tron-like vehicles. Like all the enemy tanks look like they've been pulled out of Tron. So yeah, really enjoyed it. It controlled really well, and yeah, just absolutely enjoyed playing it. I will say the only negative to this, and this actually goes in quite an exclusive list, this one. It's one of the very, very few VR games that actually made me feel sick. And I don't know why, because obviously you're sat. So I played it sort of sitting on my desk, or sitting at my desk with the controller, and you're essentially sitting in a tank controlling it. So I didn't expect to have any problems with this game, but yeah, for some reason did make me feel really rough playing it. Might have been because I played it about an hour after eating my dinner, but yeah, I was a bit surprised with that. It was one of the very few VR games that did actually make me feel ill. So we paid £4 for that. Goes for £3 at CEX, £5 on eBay. And you'll see a bit of a trend from this seller, where all of their prices are sort of middle of the road between CEX and eBay. I didn't quite realise it at the time. I was literally just looking to build a pile and sort of pick up some new games for the collection. Then next up we've got another PS4 game, and this is Constructor. So this is another sort of management style game, released in 2017 by System 3. This is a construction and management simulator, and Constructor is actually was actually a 1997 video game released originally for MS-DOS and was later given a HD re-release on consoles and PC. The player controls a construction company and aim to drive other players out of business. Using teams of workers, the player must build facilities and manufacture building materials, then use those materials to build houses, which are then rented to tenants who pay rent and fund the company's growth. And yeah, it was, I think one thing that I did enjoy about this, and it's going to show my age a bit, but the narrator on this actually sounds like Boise out of Only Fools and Horses. So yeah, that was really good. And yeah, the game is sort of very interesting from a building and management side of it, because not only do you have to focus on the sort of building side of it, there was also, I swear I had, when I was doing the playthrough, I had a group come in and try and basically sort of like mobsters trying to come in and get like protection money, or to convince my staff to come and work for them, and sort of things like that. So it was a very different take on the normal sort of build and manage type game, and yeah, a really good one. I really enjoyed playing it. I think I can't remember how long I was actually playing it when I was doing the gameplay footage, but yeah, did enjoy it, and it's definitely one that I'm going to be playing a bit more of. So I originally paid £4 for that. Looking it up online, it goes £3 at CEX and £7 on eBay. And then the last game that I picked up from this seller was actually a Master System game. So this is not a console that we pick up for that often. So anytime I get the option to, I'll always grab them. And that is Psygnosis Lemmings. So released in 1992, the Game Gear and Master System versions were actually developed by Probe Software. This is a puzzle strategy game, and it was originally developed by DMA Design and published by Psygnosis for the Amiga in 1991. So for those of you that don't know, DMA Design was actually a Scottish-based developer who are more commonly known as Rockstar North now, and they were the original developers of the Grand Theft Auto series. Each of the levels begins with one or more trapdoors opening from above and releasing a steady line of lemmings who all follow each other. The level includes a variety of obstacles that prevent the lemmings from reaching their goals, and you have to use the lemmings to either use the lemmings to stop the other lemmings from killing themselves, or you use tools to basically aid the lemming to get through the level. Now, I love Lemmings. I played it sort of back when I was younger on my dad's PC that he sort of had from work, and yeah, absolutely love playing this. And I've got a couple of different versions of this now in the collection. I think we've got the Game Gear version. I think we've got the Game Gear version boxed as well. We've now got the Master System, I'm pretty sure we got it on the Mega Drive as well. Yeah, we have, just there. And I'm pretty sure I've got a couple of copies on the PC too. So yeah, another new addition to the Master System collection, which is really good. So I paid £8 for that. Goes for £5 at CEX and £8 on eBay. Then these next two games, these actually come from a viewer of the channel, and I have to apologise straight on the day what your name was. So yeah, I want to apologise for that. But yeah, as I was selling, he come up and offered me these two games for essentially CEX voucher price, and I was like, yeah, definitely. They're not ones that I've got in the collection, so I was really happy to add them. And the first one that we've got is actually a one-on-one fighter. And that is 2007's Def Jam Icon. So released by EA Chicago, Def Jam Icons is a one-on-one fighter starring some of the biggest names in rap. The game is less wrestling orientated than the previous game, Def Jam Vendetta. The game is the third in the main installment of the EA Def Jam licensed hip-hop video games. And the game is the first one in the series to have a soundtrack that is completely changeable. Now, I have to admit, I wasn't overly impressed with this one. Looking at the graphics, it just felt outdated with the graphics. Like either a very, very early PS3 game or a very late PS2 game. So yeah, wasn't that impressed with this, and I'll be honest, even the fighters just felt very wooden. So yeah, I wasn't massively impressed with it. Obviously, I've not played any others in the series, so it might be worthwhile having a go on them when I can. But ended up paying £3 for that. Goes for £8 at CEX and £13 on eBay. And then the other game I got off this person was the Chronicles of Riddick: Assault on Dark Athena. Now, what was good about this one as well is that it actually come bundled with the first game in the series, Escape from Butcher Bay. So released in 2009 by Starbreeze Studios. This is an action-adventure game that picks up where the last game left off. Dark Athena has improved graphics and AI from Butcher Bay, along with the addition of a multiplayer mode. And in this one, Vin Diesel did return to voice the character and offer his likeness. And yeah, I find that the Riddick games are very sort of lackluster shooters. You can tell that they are sort of licensed titles, but yeah, it was okay. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great. Very much sort of middle of the road. But yeah, paid £4 for that one. Goes for £10 at CEX, £14 on eBay. The only problem with it is it didn't come with the manual, which is a bit gutting, but it's still a new one to add into the PS3 set. Then next up we get into a couple of bits that I actually got off Nicky, and this first one, I absolutely love it. It is so atrociously bad that it's good. And it is a big Sonic the Hedgehog figure set. Now, the reason that I say that it's so bad that it's good is it's a Chinese knockoff set, and what gets me is you look at the images across the top. So you've got sort of game, all game, then Devil Sonic. And yeah, it is, even the figures, they just look so, obviously Metal Sonic looks okay, but as you go down, they all just look awful. And then even on the back, so you've got basically the updated version of Sonic now on the back, and yeah, just it's a strange one. Obviously, I'm not massively into sort of bootlegs and sort of knockoffs and anything like that. But Nicky saw this, he picked it up for me, and he's literally just given it to me. So yeah, I'm going to keep hold of it because it is sort of unique in its own way. But yeah, it's probably not going to be sort of put on prominent display, shall we say. But yeah, really interesting one. I couldn't find any other examples of the sort of 6 character pack. But yeah, really interesting to have. As I say, a good laugh. Then, in addition to that, I think this was actually a pickup that Nicky made. No, this wasn't. This was something he already had, but he wasn't able to sell it. It is a Lego Super Mario set. Now, unfortunately, it has been opened, but a lot of the bags inside are still sealed. So what I'm probably going to do is go through it, make sure all the pieces are there. If they're not, then I'll look to get hold of replacements. But yeah, this is the first of the Lego Super Mario sets that I've ever had. Now, there are a couple out there that I do want, but it's not something that at this stage I've had the time or money to get hold of. But yeah, this is basically an expansion set. So you would buy the starter set, which was like the Mushroom Kingdom, and then this would be one that would sort of spur off from that set. So yeah, it's a nice addition, and as I say, it's one that I'll look to make sure it's complete, and then we'll just add it in. I'll probably repair the box a bit, and then yeah, we'll just sort of put it on display somewhere. So that would say, once again, it was not something that Nicky could sell, so he just gave it to me. Looking it up online in sort of new condition, they go for about £22. So it's not a massively valuable set, but even still a nice one to have in the collection. And then next up, this was something that Nicky found at this one. Definitely did find at the boot fair, because I remember he come up to me while I was at the car, and yeah, it was in such good condition. He said he just sort of picked it up with me in mind. And that is Walt Disney's Treasure Planet on the PS1. So released in 2002 by Magenta Software. This is a 3D platformer. And Disney's Treasure Planet is based off the film of the same name. It showed different worlds that give the player abilities to play as Jim Hawkins. The game was met with mixed to negative reception upon release, with aggregate scores of 44 out of 100 for the PS1 version on Metacritic. Now, I will say this is one of the best conditioned PS1 cases I've seen in quite a while. No cracks or anything, just a little sort of mark where we've had a sticker. But other than that, in really good condition. The gameplay was interesting because, as well as the 3D platforming levels, there were also some vehicular levels. Like you'd be on like one of the sort of the surfing hoverboard that he has in the film, and you have basically levels where you've got to sort of navigate obstacle courses on that. The graphics are very disappointing. Now, this is a game, looking at the graphics, you'd have expected it to be an early release on the PS1, but being released in 2002, the PS2 is already out at this point. The PS1 is literally in its twilight years, and yeah, all the developers have literally got to the point now where they can draw all ounces of power out of the PS1, and for some reason this game just didn't adopt any of that, which is a bit of a shame. But even still, it's always nice to have a new PS1 game in the collection. So once again, didn't pay anything for that. Nicky did just give it to me, and yeah, as I say, it is in really good condition. It is complete with the manual, and looking it up online, it goes for about £11 on eBay. So not a massively valuable game, but still a nice new addition. And then moving on to the final game for today's video, and this was one that I'd actually organised with Nicky about a week or so before the boot fair, and yeah, he brought it with him, and yeah, I am absolutely over the moon to have this, because playing the game for the footage, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that is the Mafia Trilogy. So we've currently got a couple of copies of Mafia 3 in the collection. I think I've got it on both PS4 and Xbox One. But yeah, I'll be honest, didn't even know about the Mafia Trilogy until sort of Nicky said that he'd had it. And yeah, he gave me an absolutely superb price on this. So released in 2020 by Hangar 13. This is an action crime drama game. And the Mafia Trilogy was first unveiled via a teaser trailer from 2K Games on the 13th of May 2020. The Mafia Trilogy is a crime drama video game trilogy bundle consisting of Mafia Definitive Edition, a remastered version of Mafia 2, and a re-release version of Mafia 3. And what's even better is all of the DLC is included on the disc as well. And yeah, as I said, playing the Mafia game for the first time, it had literally the one thing that I look for in every game that I play. I just did not want to put it down. I think I was probably into it for probably an hour and a half. And yeah, I just wanted to keep going. Just do the next mission. Just do the next mission. And I just had to tell myself, no, I've got to stop. I've got other gameplay to capture footage for. So yeah, really happy with that. And yeah, it's definitely a game that I'm going to be going through and completing as soon as I can. So as I said, Nicky done me an absolutely superb price on this. So he gave me it for a £5. Looking it up online, it goes for £28 at CEX and about £25 on eBay. I will say Nicky did know what it was valued at. He was the one that came up with a price, and I made sure that he was happy with that. And he was like, yeah, it's going in the collection, so I'm more than happy with it. So yeah, once again, just a massive thank you to Nicky for everything he does for both me and the channel. Because yeah, he does help me out quite a bit. And yeah, that is everything that we picked up in today's video. So as I say, I am hoping soon to get back to the normal videos where we actually go out hunting at the boot fairs. But for now, just had to sort of tweak things a bit. So in total, we paid £46 for everything that we picked up in today's video. Looking online, they go for about £88 at CEX. And if we were to pick up everything on eBay, we'd be looking at £201. So yeah, a really good haul today, and some really good money saved. But with that said, that is going to wrap up today's video. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye!